Welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Health Sciences, SOHS. Postgraduate Diploma in Geriatric Medicine, PGDGM, revised. MME 105 Clinical Geriatrics I. Block 1 Different Phase of Clinical Geriatrics. Unit 5 Prescribing in Elderly. 5.0 Objectives. After reading this unit, you should be able to describe the altered pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic factors which affect drug response in elderly. Identify individuals at high risk of developing side effects and drug interactions. Enumerate the drugs that need specific caution while prescribing for elderly patients. Assess the quality of prescription with the available criteria. Follow the general principles while prescribing in elderly. 5.1 Introduction. Richard Miller definition of aging as the process that progressively converts physiologically and cognitively fit healthy adults into less fit individuals with increasing vulnerability to injury, illness, and death, is very useful in understanding how physiological changes observed in elderly makes prescribing medications in elderly challenging. With increasing life expectancy of older person and declining birth rates along with better healthcare facilities and health awareness, the proportion of elderly has increased dramatically worldwide and will continue to increase for the next 50 years. You have already learnt about the demographic changes in the population in the Block 1 of MME 104. The number of people aged 65 or older is projected to grow from estimated 527 million, 8%, in 2010 to nearly 1.5 billion, 16%, in 2050, with the most of increase in developing countries. With the increasing number of older people, it is common to see elderly taking multiple medications, over-the-counter prescription and additional prescribed drug to treat side effect of medication that they are already on. You will learn how the drug interactions need to be considered while prescribing multiple drugs in an elderly and to therefore assess the quality of prescriptions before finalizing them. Most of our scientific understanding of therapeutics, clinical pharmacology and pharmacokinetics are based on studies in young population and data with regard to safety of drugs in elderly is based on anecdotal data, clinical impression and trial and error only. In this unit you will learn about the pharmacodynamic and pharmacokinetic factors which affect the drug response, especially in an elderly. 5.2 Epidemiology. Inappropriate prescription in elderly is found to be very high, ranging from 18 to 49% in ambulatory, 25 to 54% in hospitalized and 37 to 67% in nursing home residents. 5 to 10% hospital admissions in old age are related to adverse drug reactions. In nursing home settings, the incidence of adverse drug event, AID, is approximately 10%, of which half may be preventable. 5.3 Altered drug responsiveness. Altered drug responsiveness could be due to age-related changes in pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, Table 5.1. Many physiological changes of aging do alter the way a drug acts. Hence, although you have already read these changes in details in the Unit 1 Block 2 of MME 104, it is important to know the physiological changes in elderly to understand its effect on drug therapy. Table 5.1 summarizes the physiological changes with aging. Table 5.1 Physiological changes with aging. Components changes. Body composition: decline in total body size, decline in total body mass, relative increase in body fat stores, decline in total body water, respiratory system decreased FEV1 and FVC, increased residual volume, cough less effective, ciliary action less effective, ventilation perfusion mismatching, causes PAO2 to decrease, trachea and central airways increase in diameter, decreased lung mass, decreased respiratory muscle strength, decreased diffusion of carbon monoxide, decreased maximum inspiratory and expiratory pressures, chest wall stiffens, decreased diaphragmatic strength, decreased ventilatory response to hypoxia and hypercarbia. Renal system renal blood flow decreases about 10% per decade. GFR decreases approximately 8.0 milliliters, min 1.73 meters to decade from the fourth decade of life. Age-related nephrosclerosis with loss of nephron reserve. Gastrointestinal system reduced gastric emptying, reduced gut blood flow, decreased absorption surface, reduced gastrointestinal active transport, reduced liver size, reduction in liver blood flow. Cardiovascular system decline in cardiac output and blood flow distribution, reduction in cardiac and vascular adrenergic responsiveness, no change in de-adrenergic response. 5.3.1 Pharmacokinetics factors. Pharmacokinetics deals with four components: absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. Only the last three are affected by age. Drug absorption. Changes in gastric motility and blood flow to the gut with aging do not alter the efficiency with which medications move, mainly by passive diffusion, from the gastrointestinal tract into the systemic circulation. The amount of drug that reaches the systemic circulation, bioavailability, prescribing in elderly following oral drug administration depends on gastrointestinal absorption and pre-systemic metabolism during its first passage through the gastrointestinal mucosa and the liver. The absorption of substances that are actively transported from the intestinal lumen, including some sugars, minerals and vitamins, may therefore be decreased. In elderly patients, however, most drugs are passively absorbed, and although the rate of absorption may be slightly decreased, major alterations do not occur. With aging, concurrently administered antacids decrease the absorption of drugs such as chlorpromazine, tetracycline, cimetidine, isoniazid and penicillamine, while cholestyramine binds and decreases the absorption of many drugs including thiazides, phenobarbital, anticoagulants, digitalis glycosides, acetyl salicylic acid, aspirin, paracetamol and penicillin. Major changes in drug absorption due to age alone have not been identified. The effects of disease and concurrent drug therapy may play an important role in drug absorption. Following absorption, drugs pass through the portal system to the liver. Agents such as propranolol and the nitrates are subject to significant first-pass hepatic extraction, which reduces their bioavailability. With aging, such hepatic extraction may be altered. For example, increased plasma concentrations of propranolol following oral administration in elderly patients may be related to decreased hepatic extraction. Drug distribution. Drug distribution is determined by 1. Body composition, 2. Plasma protein binding, 3. Organ blood flow, 4. Hepatic metabolism, 5. Renal excretion. 1. Body composition. Total body water and body mass decrease with age. Body fat as a percentage of body weight increase with aging until the age of 80 to 85 years and then decreases. As a result of these changes in body composition, use of standardized drug dosages in elderly patients may be expected to produce higher drug concentrations in the blood. The extent of distribution of a drug is determined by its molecular size, lipophilicity, acid, base properties and binding of the drug to plasma albumin and tissue proteins. The concept of apparent volume of distribution, VD, is a useful measure of the amount of drug in the body as a whole, relative to that in the plasma. The prefix apparent clarifies that VD is a theoretical concept rather than an actual volume. The value of VD is often different in the young and elderly subjects for the same drug. Some examples of how this affects interpretation are provided by highly water-soluble drugs such as digoxin. The VD for digoxin is reduced in the elderly as a consequence of reduction in body water, and thus a smaller dose is required to provide adequate digitalization and avoid potential toxicity. Lowered volume of distributions has also been shown for the other water-soluble drugs such as paracetamol and ethanol. The opposite is true of the lipid-soluble drugs such as lignocaine and thiopentone, where the volume of distribution rises in old age because of increased body fat. This may lead to an increased half-life of the drug as plasma clearance remains constant, resulting in an increased drug effect and toxicity, warranting dosage reduction. 2. Plasma protein binding. Plasma protein binding may be reduced as a result of I. Reduction in plasma albumin, which is the major binding protein. E. As a result of changes in binding affinity due to aging, leading to an increased free concentration of extensively protein-bound drugs. For the majority of protein-bound drugs, the free unbound fraction is available for therapeutic effect. In contrast, the concentration of alpha-acid glycoprotein may be increased in presence of chronic diseases that frequently occur in the geriatric population, resulting in increased binding of drugs such as antidepressants, antipsychotic drugs and beta blockers, which are mainly bound to this protein. Hence, these drugs may be needed in higher doses to achieve the desired effect. 3. Organ blood flow. Change in organ blood flow with aging may also affect the rate of drug distribution. It has been evidenced that cardiac output decreases and peripheral vascular resistance increases with age. Hepatic and renal blood flows are decreased and an increased fraction of cardiac output is distributed to the brain, heart and skeletal muscle. Although many of these changes partly are a result of prior illness, the average elderly patient will have altered blood flow compared with younger patients. 4. Hepatic metabolism. Hepatic blood flow and liver mass change in proportion to body weight and decrease with aging. There is a 40 to 50% decrease in hepatic blood flow in elderly as compared with young adults. These changes may alter the ability of the liver to metabolize drugs. The ability of the liver to metabolize drugs does not decline similarly for all drugs with advancing age. The most frequent change involves the microsomal mixed function oxidative system, phase 1 reactions, oxidation and reduction, but little or no change occurs in the conjugative processes, phase 2 reactions, conjugation. Phase 1 reaction. As consequence of reduced metabolism, certain drugs that are cleared by the liver may require administration in lower dosages to avoid accumulation and excessive pharmacologic effect. In general, drugs with low hepatic extraction have a high volume of distribution, a reduction in clearance and a prolongation of the elimination half-life. Drugs in this class can be divided into those involving phase 1 reactions and phase 2 reactions. These reactions introduce polar groups into drug molecules by oxidation, reduction, demethylation and hydrolytic processes. The most important of these are the oxidative steps, which are carried out by the microsomal mixed function oxidase drug metabolizing system in the liver parenchymal cell. It is generally held that the activity of the microsomal mixed function oxidase system declines with age. This conclusion is largely based on studies with antipyrine, because this drug is used as an index of hepatic metabolism and is an excellent model for studying the microsomal mixed function oxidase metabolizing system within the liver. In the elderly, prolongation of antipyrine plasma half-life and a decrease in its metabolism and clearance have been shown. Phase 2 reaction. Non-microsomal enzyme pathways may be less affected by age. Thus, there is little effect of aging on the elimination of isoniazid, rifampicin, paracetamol, lidocaine, valproic acid, salicylate, indomethacin and oxprenolol. Benzodiazepines that primarily undergo conjugation in the liver and are without active metabolites include oxazepam, lorazepam and temazepam, although oxazepam is a minor metabolite of temazepam. Cumulative or prolonged sedative effects may be less likely with these compounds because they have Shorter half-lives and their elimination may be unaltered with age. Concurrent drug administration, illness, genetics and environmental factors including smoking may have more important effects on drug metabolism. 5. Renal excretion. Most drugs are excreted predominantly by the renal route, although some like digoxin also enter an enterohepatic cycle. Between the ages of 20 and 90 years, there is an average decline of 35% in glomerular filtration rate. However, muscle mass decline with aging causes a decrease in endogenous creatinine production so that serum creatinine concentrations remain within normal ranges and do not reflect the decrease in creatinine clearance. Renal tubular function deteriorates with age as the absolute number of nephrons declines and may affect in particular the elimination of drugs which are actively secreted in the nephron. In addition to the physiological decline in renal function, the elderly patient is particularly liable to renal impairment due to dehydration, congestive heart failure, hypotension, urinary retention and to intrinsic renal involvement e.g. diabetic nephropathy or pyelonephritis. Age-related decrease in excretion of most drugs correlates with altered renal function. Drugs with significant toxicity that have diminished renal excretion with age due to the decline in the glomerular filtration rate include allopurinol, aminoglycosides, amantadine, lithium, digoxin, prekinamide, clopropamide, penicillin, and cimetidine. These agents may have reduced clearance, prolonged half-lives and increased steady-state concentrations if dosages are not adjusted. For renal function, did you know? Renal excretion is dependent upon the renal blood flow, glomerular filtration rate, and tubular function, all of which decline with age. Did you know? Aging is accompanied by decline in muscle mass and modification of diet. So serum creatinine does not represent the actual renal status. It is always wise to use creatinine clearance by Cockcroft-Gault formula or MDRD equation in elderly for assessing renal function. Cockcroft-Gault formula equals 140 age in years times total body weight in kilogram 72 times S CR in mg d. For females, multiply the result by 0.85. 5.3.2 Pharmacodynamics factors. In contrast to pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics relates to the effect that a drug has on the body. Aging is associated with altered sensitivity to a number of drugs. In cardiovascular system, there is reduction in cardiac and vascular beta adrenergic response and no change in adrenergic response. In central nervous system, there is increased sensitivity to sedatives, narcotics, anesthetics. Elderly patients are known to be oversensitive to psychotropic drugs. For example, psychomotor manifestations of benzodiazepines occur at lower concentrations in elderly than in a young adult. These altered responses have been demonstrated with nitrazepam and diazepam. However, it has been observed that these changes are likely to be due to a combination of increased tissue sensitivity, decreased ability to compensate for altered CNS function and altered pharmacokinetic factors. 1. Age-related changes. Responses to drugs in the elderly patients may be accentuated or modified by age-related changes in homeostatic responses such as postural control, orthostatic circulatory responses, thermoregulation, visceral mass function, and cognitive function. 2. Receptor sensitivity. Sites of drug action include cell surface receptors, intracellular receptors, enzymes and membrane ion channels. In the case of receptor agonists, tissue response is dependent on receptor binding, intracellular stimulus, response coupling and activation of effector mechanisms. Beta-adrenergic mediated effects are altered with aging. The decrease in beta-adrenergic receptor response is due to a reduction in binding affinity and altered post-receptor mechanism resembling desensitization. Lt should Be noted that the cardiovascular system is one of the most important organ systems in which receptors decreases with age. Evidence that alpha-adrenergic receptors are altered with aging is not well established. 3. Impaired homeostasis. With aging, there is a progressive fall in homeostatic reserve or the loss of capacity to adapt to therapy. This is expressed through the reduced efficiency of the various mechanisms which normally counterbalance the effects of a variety of drugs. Impaired homeostasis is a frequent cause of adverse drug effects. Postural hypotension is frequent in elderly individuals and may be exacerbated by many drugs. The pathogenesis is multifactorial and includes decreased baroreceptor response, altered sympathetic activity and responsiveness, impaired vasomotor response in both arterioles and veins, and altered volume regulation. Drugs that alter CNS function, sympathetic activity, vasomotor response, cardiac function or volume regulation may exacerbate postural changes in blood pressure. Phenothiazines, tricyclic antidepressants, levodopa, antihypertensive drugs are the frequent cause of postural hypotension. Inter-individual variation in most physiological parameters also increases with age, and hence drug effects may be difficult to predict in each individual. 5.4 Polypharmacy. Studies have shown that average number of medications in elderly is between 4 to 5, which increase further during hospitalization. Elderly have multiple comorbidities and hence they are likely to take multiple medications. Medications started for an acute problem get substituted more often than omitted once acute episode is over. Polypharmacy leads to poor compliance and increased adverse drug reactions, contributing to hospital admissions, morbidity and mortality. 5.5 Compliance. Ability of a person to comply with the prescription or adhering to the prescription is called compliance. Patients with cognitive impairment, poor vision, swallowing problems and arthritic hands may have poor compliance. Patients and caregivers should be educated and any practical difficulties should be identified. Wide open bottles and clear glass containers, small-sized tablets designed for swallowing easily, minimizing frequency of dosing and judicious use of preparations like suppositories, liquid preparations, transdermal patches. Parenteral injections can be followed. Methods like self-reporting surveys, pill counts, monitoring drug levels, electronic medications monitoring, electronic health records, etc. can be used to improve compliance. Social issues like cost and living alone should also be addressed. Did you know? To improve compliance, medications review is mandatory. 5.6 Drug interactions. Drug interactions can occur with a drug patient is already taking or because of the diseases patient is suffering from. 1. Drug-drug interaction. Drug-drug interactions can be defined as the effect that the administration of one drug has on another drug. Table 5.2 summarizes drug-drug interaction between different drugs. Table 5.2 Drug-drug interactions. Look at the screen. 5.7 Anticholinergic burden. It has been estimated that approximately 50% of older adults, above 65 years, are exposed to anticholinergic burden. In the context of recently observed rise in the burden of psychiatric illnesses and the increasing trend for polypharmacy, a rise in the use of anticholinergic medications has been observed. Older patients are more likely to experience adverse effects due to age-related changes in pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. Older adults are more at risk for anticholinergic side effects than young people because of increased permeability of the blood-brain barrier, decreased drug metabolism and elimination, and age-related deficit in central cholinergic transmission. Anticholinergic burden is a strong predictor of cognitive and physical impairment, especially in the elderly population. It has been linked to an increased rate of falls, decline in cognitive function and memory, decline in activities in daily living and higher mortality rates. Many medications have anticholinergic activity, which means they block the neurotransmitter acetylcholine from binding to the muscarinic receptor and hence produce anticholinergic type effects. Such activity may be desirable, for example, in medications for urge incontinence and undesirable in case of antipsychotics. Antidepressants. Commonly reported peripheral side effects of anticholinergic medicines include dry mouth, dry eyes, constipation, urinary retention, blurred vision and increased heart rate, while central effects range from dizziness, sedation, confusion and delirium. There is association between anticholinergic effect on cognitive function, increased risk of delirium, dizziness and confusion, but also with falls and hospitalizations. Several instruments have been developed and validated to determine the anticholinergic burden, some of which are anticholinergic risk scale, ARS, anticholinergic drug scale, ADS, anticholinergic cognitive burden scale, ACB, and drug burden index, DBI. Anticholinergic cognitive burden scale, ACB. It is a scale that lists the commonly prescribed drugs with anticholinergic activity. The ACB scores of some commonly used drugs are given below in Table 5.4. Table 5.4, Anticholinergic Cognitive Burden Scale, ACB scores of commonly used drugs. Look at the screen. A total score of 3 or more in the ACB is considered clinically relevant and they have a 70% chance of 2 or more adverse effects. Figure 5.1 gives the ACB interpretation. Fig 5.1, ACB score interpretation. Making use of the above-mentioned scales, the physician can formulate a treatment plan with more focus on reducing the anticholinergic burden, which has proven to be a significant factor in increasing the morbidity and decreasing the quality of life in the elderly. In addition to these scales, the physician is expected to use his clinical acumen and exercise discretion in prescribing the necessary drugs. 5.8 Medication-related problems. Medication-related problems can be due to medication-related errors, medication-related adverse patient events, medication-related errors. Medication-related errors can be due to errors in prescription, communication, dispensing, administering and monitoring. Practitioner's error can be due to wrong prescription and lack of awareness of other drugs that the patient is already on. Patient's error can be due to use of over-the-counter drugs, use of herbal drugs with potentially harmful effects and non-compliance. Medication-related adverse patient events. Medication-related adverse patient events can be adverse drug reactions, ADR, therapeutic failure, adverse drug withdrawal events, ADWE, adverse drug reactions, ADR. Overall incidence of adverse drug reactions in geriatric patients is estimated to be at least twice than in younger population. Adverse drug reaction in elderly are more frequent and severe. In long-term care facilities this goes unrecognized. Studies have shown that the percentage of ADR increases from 10% to 100%. With comparison between person taking single drug versus 10 drugs. Adverse drug reactions could be due to many factors, out of which major factors are polypharmacy due to multiple comorbidities, non-compliance, altered pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. ADR can be classified into two types. Type A reaction are dose-related. Type B reactions include idiosyncratic or allergic reactions. Type A reactions are more common than type B. 5.9 Prescription Cascade. Prescription cascade concept was created by Rochon and Gurwitz in 1997. When a new treatment is started, it may lead to adverse reaction or a new medical condition in itself for which a new additional medication is started, which may further lead to another medical condition. Examples of prescription cascade include metoclopramide administered produces extrapyramidal symptoms which are identified as Parkinsonism features and patient will be started on levodopa. Hydrochlorothiazide therapy increases uric acid levels and precipitates gout. for which antigot therapy is initiated without considering it to be the side effect of hydrochlorothiazide. NSAID administration can lead to fluid retention and hypertension, for which antihypertensives may be started unnecessarily. 5.10 Quality of prescribing. The mnemonic avoid too many can be used as a guide before prescribing in elderly. Alternatives: vague history or symptoms. OTC, over-the-counter, medications have side effects too. Interactions: drug-drug, drug-disease. Duration: therapeutic vs preventive. Once a day versus twice or 4 times a day. Other doctors. Money. Adverse effects of other drugs. Need: yes, no. Is the person actually taking the medication? Appropriateness of prescription can be assessed by 1. Beers criteria, https dcri.org/beers-criteria-medication-list/closing parenthesis. 2. Medication Appropriate Index. This index is given in Table 5.5. Table 5.5, Medication Appropriate Index. Item score. Is there an indication for the drug? 3. Is the medication effective for the condition? 3. Is the dosage correct? 2. Are the directions correct? 2. Are the directions practical? 1. Are there clinically significant drug-drug interaction? 2. Are there clinical significant drugs to disease? 2. Condition in directions. Is there unnecessary duplication with other drugs? 1. Is the duration of therapy acceptable? 1. Is this drug the least expensive alternative compared to others of equal utility? 1. These results combined to a total score of 18. 0 indicates the medication is appropriate. 18 is maximum inappropriateness. 3. START, screening tool to alert doctors to right treatment, is an evidence-based screening tool that can detect potential omissions in therapy of elderly patients. E.g. 1. Warfarin therapy for chronic atrial fibrillation. 2. ACEI or ARB in diabetics with nephropathy. 4. STOP, screening tool of older person's prescription, is an evidence-based screening tool that can detect potential errors in commission. EG 1. Loop diuretics for dependent ankle edema only without clinical signs of cardiac failure. 2. NSAIDs in presence of renal failure. Start and stop criteria can be accessed through https www.researchgate.net/. Publication 267,047-for-criteria_stop_in_older_people_people_version_2. 5.11 Medicine reconciliation. Medicine reconciliation is defined as the process of identifying the most accurate list of all medications that the patient is taking, including name, dosage, frequency, and route by comparing the medical record to an external list of medications obtained from a patient, hospital, or other provider. The treating physician should develop a good rapport with the patient and make a list of current medications which the patient is taking at present, brown bag approach, and prepare the list of medications to be prescribed based on the current medical problems and compare the medications on the two lists. A clinical decision is made based on the comparison and a fresh list is to be made and communicated to the patient and caregivers. 5.12 Summary. Basic principles must be considered before initiating drug therapy in elderly. Consider whether medication is necessary. You should know the pharmacology of the medication in relation to age, the adverse effect profile of the medication in relation to the patient's other medications and diseases should be considered. Initial dose must be chosen carefully and adjusted. Clear, feasible, therapeutic endpoints should be established. 40% of hospital admissions are related to drugs in elderly, hence monitoring for adverse drug reactions is important. To prevent, minimize adverse drug withdrawal events, slowly taper the medications. You should regularly review the need for chronic medications and discontinue unnecessary ones. Simplify the medication regimen, if possible. Elder-friendly preparations like liquid preparation, dermal patches, etc. can be tried. Social issues like living alone, cost and caregiver support should be considered before initiating long-term drugs. Always start low, go slow in. Final dose can be adjusted according to individual tolerability. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.